In our previous lesson, we saw that to form the passé composé, we needed the verb avoir in the present tense. Then we needed to add a past participle, which is the past form of the verb. And in French, it ends in E for ER verbs, I for IR verbs, and U for RE verbs. We know how regular past participles should end, but of course there are irregular past participles. So the first three are very common and very useful to know. We've got avoir, that becomes eu, être, that becomes été, faire, that becomes fait. If I put these into examples, j'ai eu de la chance, I had some luck, so I was lucky. Nous avons été patients, we have been patient, we were patient. Il a fait la cuisine, he did the cooking, he has done the cooking. I have put the next lot of irregular past participles into one group because they are very similar. So let's have a look. Boire becomes bu, lire becomes lu, savoir becomes su, voir becomes vu, devoir becomes dû. Be careful with the little accent on top of the U because it shows that it's different from the definite article du, which means some, so we have to have the accent. And the last one, pouvoir becomes pu. If I put them, or some of them, in examples, j'ai bu de la limonade, I drank some lemonade. Nous avons vu la Tour Eiffel, we saw the Eiffel Tower. Il a dû aller à l'hôpital, he had to go to hospital. For the next lot, vouloir becomes voulu, recevoir becomes reçu, vivre becomes vécu. Examples: j'ai voulu abandonner, I wanted to give up. Nous avons reçu un email, we received an email. Il a vécu à Paris pendant 10 ans. He lived in Paris for 10 years. This group comprises the verb prendre and verbs derived from it. So we've got prendre becomes pris, apprendre becomes appris, comprendre becomes compris. Examples: j'ai pris le bus, I took the bus. Nous avons appris le français, we learned French. Il a compris, he understood. The last group goes like this. Maître becomes me, permettre becomes permis, écrire becomes écrit, dire becomes dit, ouvrir becomes ouvert. Examples: j'ai mis un pull, I put on a jumper. Nous avons écrit une lettre, we wrote a letter. Il a dit la vérité, he told the truth. J'ai ouvert la fenêtre, I opened the window. It is important to memorize irregular past participles, so we're going to practice through a little memory game. I'm going to hide each of these past participles, and what you have to do is to guess what's hidden. Guess the past participle. So let's go. Avoir. Its past participle is eu. Next one. Écrire. Écrit. Savoir. Su. Recevoir. Reçu. vouloir. Voulu, faire. Fait, vivre. Vécu, comprendre. Compris, ouvrir. Ouvert, devoir. Dû, apprendre. Appris, être. Été, permettre. Permis, boire. Bu, prendre. Pris, lire. Lu, dire. Dit, voir. Vu, mettre. Mis, pouvoir. Pu. Let me give you a little memorizing technique that my students usually find very useful. For this you need a piece of paper, and the first step of the process is to write the French. So here I've got a list of phrases in the passé composé in the first person with irregular past participle, but you could use it for vocabulary, anything you like really. The second step is to write the English translation. Thirdly, we need to hide the original French list, maybe with another piece of paper. And then we need to look at the English translation and write the French again. And the last step is, of course, to take the little paper away and to check our answers. Very powerful technique, especially for those like me who need to write things down to memorize. Félicitations, you've completed lesson 2. I leave a little bit of homework for you to complete, and all I have to say now is au revoir et à bientôt for lesson number 3.